he's going to have like a come to Jesus moment now in this song, I
Yeah.
believe, which is probably my favorite song of the entire musical. I love it for different reasons, but it's kind of like that big comeback number that you find in a lot of musicals where here we have our protagonist and he has figured it out and has purpose again and ready to take the stage and everybody and command, his presence again in the narrative. And here we go with I Believe.
Ever since I was a child, I tried to be the best. So what happened? My family and friends all said I was blessed. So what happened? It was supposed to be all so exciting, to be teaching of Christ across the sea. But I allowed my faith to be shaken. Oh, what's the matter with me? I've always longed to help the needy, to do the things I never dared. This was the time for me to step up. So then why was I so scared? A warlord who shoots people in the face. What's so scary about that? I must trust that my Lord is mightier and always has my back. Now I must be completely devout. I can't have even one shred of doubt. I believe
I love this.
that the Lord God created the universe. I believe that he sent his only son to die for my sins. And I believe that ancient Jews built boats and sailed to America. I am a Mormon, and a Mormon just believes.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, pause it. Okay, so let's unpack this. First of all, I don't know if you're as big of a Rodgers and Hammerstein fan as I am, but they wrote The Sound of Music,
Okay.
and some of the arrangement and the music is a nod
Ah.
to some of the songs from The Sound of Music. So,
Okay. Okay.
like when he says, a warlord that shoots people in the face,
Yeah.
what's so scary about that? That comes straight from one of the songs in The Sound of Music. I believe that the Lord God created the universe.
hmm
Again, I'm going to tell you everything in this song that he says Mormons believe is exactly what we believe.
Mm.
So none of it is wrong. Okay, I believe that he sent his only son to die for my sins. And I believe that ancient Jews built boats and sailed to America. Yeah, so we believe that too. Again, that story of how, yeah, Native Americans come from Jewish descent is all part of the Book of Mormon narrative
hmm
that happened there. But then ultimately, I am a Mormon and a Mormon just believes,
hmm
which again, we've talked and talked about this blind faith, absolute, there's no way around it. There's no questioning it. We just believe and we do what we're told. I love just that phrase, a
hmm
Mormon just believes. Nothing speaks truer to me than that. That's
Mm.
exactly how I would describe a Mormon. A Mormon just believes, doesn't question, doesn't think,
Yeah.
doesn't do anything other than blindly follow whether this prophet person is good or bad or telling you to hate gay people or telling you that black people are not to be integrated
Mm.
into society, into their worship services. That is what a Mormon is. They just believe, they don't ask questions.
Powerful.
I know.
Believes. You cannot just believe part way. You have to believe in it all. My problem was doubting the Lord's will instead of standing tall. I can't allow myself to have any doubt. It's time to set my worries free. Time to show the world what Elder Price is about and share the power inside of me. I believe that God has a plan for all of us. I believe that plan involves me getting my own planet. And I believe that the current president of the church, Thomas Monson, speaks directly to God. I am a Mormon. Dang it! A Mormon just
So I love that he says you cannot just believe part way, you have to believe in it all.
Mm.
That is that isn't just like a throw out, request. That is actually what prophets have talked about. We had a prophet named Gordon B. Hinckley who said it's either all a fraud or it's all truth. It cannot be one
Mm.
way or another. That's why there's so much black and white thinking within Mormonism.
Right.
It's because
Right.
there's no in between, there's no
Mm.
gray area. It's either all true or it's all a fraud. And that was something that my generation was constantly being told. And so that's very true. And then Elder Price says, my problem was doubting the Lord's will instead of standing tall. I can't allow myself to have any doubt. Mormons are not allowed
Mm.
to have any doubt. You are to doubt your doubts
Yes.
before you surrender yourself to them or investigate them in any way. And
Interesting.
so, absolutely. It's time to set my worries free, time to show the world what Elder Price is about and share the power inside of me.
Yeah.
And again, especially the young men, especially men in general in the faith, they are given the priesthood power. And so, this rhetoric of, going out and being able to use this power,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just a metaphor of like your light shining inside of you. No, they are actually endowed with this power and they can extend it to other people. They can give
Mm.
blessings and it's the power of God. And so he's saying, like, I've been given this power, it's inside of me, and it's time for me to share it with the world. And then, of course, let's fact check. This God has a plan for all of us. I believe that the plan involves me getting my own planet. Absolutely. We've covered this in past podcasts. And I believe that the current president of the church, Thomas Monson, speaks directly to God. I am a Mormon, and dang it, a Mormon
Mormon
just
just
believes.
believes.
And I love the dang it again
Yeah.
because, again, it's
Yeah.
that diet cursing
Yeah.
that we talked about
Right.
where, I love that. And currently, the prophet of the church is not Thomas Monson. It
Mm.
is Russell M. Nelson. I think actually I read an article not too long ago that they've updated the musical to reflect the change.
Oh wow.
So,
Really cool.
yeah, our faith believes that this man, the prophet, receives direct communion with God on the daily, just like Joseph Smith. Of course, he
So
can't help us understand a lot of things like why gay people have to
yeah,
be
yeah.
so marginalized and
Anything that an actual God would know. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
very
Why
interesting.
did he have to wait until 1978 to let us know that
Yeah.
black people deserve personhood? I
We
don't
never know
know.
that. We never know that.
Don't know. It's
So
a head scratcher.
so how does this appointments of presidents gets chosen? Is it by retirement until they die? Until like
Yes. Yes, until they
until
pass.
they pass? Okay,
Correct.
interesting.
Yep.
So you never
So
retire.
nope, nope. It is a lifelong
You
position
just speak
as
to
long
God
as,
until the day you croak.
mhm, until the day he welcomes you back. So,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Doesn't even leave you alone for a bit. Okay.
Just believe. I know that I must go and do the things my God commands. I realize now why He sent me here. If you ask the Lord in faith, He will always answer you. Just believe in Him and have no
Did you
fear.
pause it? The nod here when he says, I know that I must go and do the things my God commands.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's straight from a children's song that's
Oh,
in the Mormon faith. And it's a song about Nephi, who is
okay.
one of the characters in the Book of Mormon. And the song goes, I will go, I will do the things the Lord commands.
Okay.
And the people that wrote this musical didn't do it without doing a significant amount of research, and they pulled from
Wow.
all over. And so to me, when I hear that, I'm like, that's not just a lyric, that's pulled straight
Mm.
from a Mormon primary song.
Wow.
So,
That is clever.
yeah.
And also reaching him processing the his belief statement, his belief manifesto that he's doing right now, Elder Price, and
Yeah,
having to reach down to his childhood indoctrination to
exactly.
reinforce that. And that's exactly how the belief system works. And that's why they need to do it. That's why they need to start teaching you as a kid so that when you grow up
That's
All those
right.
barriers are already laid out because you can't, as an adult, you don't have that. You don't have that indoctrination factor. You don't have it. You will constantly
No.
have, because even if you look at converts who convert as adults, right? A lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, they don't become as dogmatic as someone who was indoctrinated as a child into the faith. They usually like come in, they find it interesting, they try to do their best, and they have these questions, but they kind of like go along with it. But they're not as dogmatic as someone who would, because those reinforcements are not laid out. Obviously, unless this person is already has an indoctrination of some form, like in Christianity, and they convert maybe from evangelical to Mormonism, then yeah, it probably might work the same way. But if you have someone who's completely non-Christian and becomes a Mormon, it would be very interesting to see where they would pull these reinforcements from when they don't have that. But Elder Price and many Mormons do have that. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, you put that to words exactly what's happening here
Mm.
and what happens with kids brought up in the
Yeah.
church from the beginning. And he's now taking on that role of prophet Nephi. And he's like, I'm going to go and do the things that my God commands. This is empowering him to go now back into the village and face the warlord, which is
Right.
what's about to
Right.
happen.
Exactly.
He's going to go into the general's camp and he is going to set this man free from Satan and all the horrors that he's doing. And this is how Elder Price is going to put his name back on the map. This is how he's going to blow God's freaking mind.
Yes.
This is what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. The imagery that would be in their head would be God is up there watching, and he's either pleased with you or not pleased with you, and is waiting for you
Yeah,
to impress him. And you are kind of
right.
like, oh, I
Absolutely.
want to make God excited kind of thing. And he's just, that is the imagery they have
Yes.
of it's so strange. It's such a
It's
strange thing.
strange, but it's so real. The fact that he
Yeah.
sings in an earlier song about how he's always dreamt of the day that he was going to meet God in heaven
Mhm.
and that God was going to shake his hand and said, "You've done an awesome job, Kevin."
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's why it's like it's not even funny
Yeah.
to a
It's not.
Mormon because it's like that's exactly what they think about more
Yeah.
than almost anything else is like they
Right.
just know that like Santa Claus, somebody's watching them all the
Yeah.
time and they better be good because they really want to get to the next life and have him shake your hand and say you've done a great job and
Yeah.
good on you.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting.
It's a lot of pressure,
It
especially for these
is.
kids on a
Indeed.
mission. So
Indeed.
yeah.
And have no fear.
General, we have an intruder. He just walked right into camp.
I believe that Satan has a hold of you. I believe that the Lord God has sent me here. And I believe that in 1978 God changed his mind about black people. Black people! You can be a Mormon who just believes.
I love this because I don't think also this is by accident putting this right where it is in the song because he's about to go, he's back in Uganda.
Yes.
He's about to go into the camp.
Yes.
And so he's basically saying, the Lord has sent me here. I'm here to, get rid of Satan. And by the way, just so you know, we like black people
Yeah.
now. So I have a place amongst you because, this law or whatever, this rule has been changed. God changed his mind in 1978. So
Right.
I have every right to be here telling you how to live your life better. And
Yeah.
it's just, it's not by accident that they throw this in
Yeah.
right when he goes into the camp.
Yes,
So,
and it's very climatic as well musically because
yes.
right where the key modulates to the next key,
Okay.
which is what musically it will bring the goosebumps to the listener, even when you even if you're a believer, right? It is that moment because it creates this scene where he's going back into this lion's den, right? This danger, and then the soldier says, Commander, there is an intruder. He just gets right into the camp, right? So they
Right.
create this imagery. It's like, oh my, there's this. He's facing this danger, right? But then he
Yeah.
faces it with his chest up, his shoulders down, bravely goes in,
Yeah.
and then they change the key, and then you have this choir harmony in the background. That is a recipe
Yeah.
for goosebumps to just lift you all like, wow, that's absolute cinema. That is how music is written. It's just perfect cinema. It's amazing how they did that. But yeah, it is absolutely hilarious though.
Here comes our hero
Yeah, here
to
comes the
save the
hero.
day.
That is what it is.
A Mormon who just believes. The fuck is this? And now I can feel the excitement. This is the moment I was born to do. And I feel so incredible to be sharing my faith with you. The scriptures say that if you ask in faith, if you ask God himself, you'll know. But you must ask him without any doubt and let your spirit grow. Let your spirit grow. I believe that God lives on a planet called Kolob. I believe that Jesus has his own planet as well. And I believe that the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri. You believe the Lord will reveal it, and you'll know it's all true, you'll just feel it. You'll be a Mormon, by gosh, a Mormon, just believe. Just believe. A Mormon, just believe. I believe.
All right, hands down my favorite song.
I
All
don't
right,
blame
let's
you.
break
It is
break
so
down.
well written. It's the perfect
so good.
musical. It's the perfect musical. It's amazing.
It's beautiful.